This was a little more dull than I was anticipating. Now, that's not to say I hated Five Nights at Freddy's. I didn't hate it. It definitely has some aspects that I really enjoyed. But for the most part, I felt like it was lacking. Now, it does follow the overall plot of the first game. Obviously, spoilers incoming if you haven't played the game, and also a little bit of the movie because it follows the overall plot with just like one little minor difference. In the game, you are a new security guard, Mike, and Josh Hutcherson plays Mike in the movie. So it's like, okay, we got Mike. That's cool. And in the game, we learn night by night by night what happened at Freddy's, how kids went missing, and they eventually found the poor kids inside the animatronics because they were smelling bad and they were oozing blood and guts and just like death juices, which is pretty gross. But and then they caught the guy. Now, like I said, it does differ a little bit in the movie in terms of the bodies and who did it. And but other than that, it does follow the plot of the game very well. And another thing I thought was fantastic was the animatronics and the puppetry of Freddy and the gang. Those were fantastic, absolutely amazing. The movements, the electronics, the lighting up of the eyes, the way they moved, I thought it was done very, very well. You know, the art of animatronics and puppetry is almost, unfortunately, kind of a dying art because everything is fucking CGI'd now. In a lot of movies, if you need a creature or you need a giant robot, it's CGI. Here, they went the practical route, and I thought it was fantastic. They did a great job. Now, in terms of the rest of the movie, um, there's a random subplot of Mike and a unfortunately kidnapped brother, which it's like, okay, do we really need this? But then in the back of my mind, it's like, well, they got to fill the time because to be on the big screen, you do need to be at least 80 to 90 minutes, and they managed to make it 110 minutes, but, you know, you need to be a certain length to make it on the big screen. So they added that random subplot, which, you know, I'm kind of sitting there thinking, like, I don't care. I really don't. They do tie it in to the missing kids from Freddy's, so at least it wasn't completely random, but at the same time, it's like, I don't care. I want to concentrate on Freddy, on the restaurant, on the fucking robots, and all of that. Now, as for the big reveal, the twist, you see it coming immediately. As soon as you meet him, it's like, okay, this is going to be the bad guy. You can just tell his mannerisms, the way he talks, the look in his eyes. You can tell he is the guy. And it turns out this guy is also the father of another character, which also was not entirely that shocking. So eventually, when it does the big reveal of like who this maniac is who took these children and killed these children, it's like, oh, okay, I saw this coming. Ultimately, Five Nights at Freddy's, it's not a bad movie. I'm sure some that watch this, they're gonna fucking tear me apart because they're gonna think the movie is amazing. But to me, it's not amazing. I feel like if it went R instead of PG-13, this could have been a completely different movie, and it would have been fucking amazing. The acting, I think, is okay. It's not terrible. Josh Hutcherson, he does well. Elizabeth Lale, who is probably best known for her role in You, and she was amazing in You. She's pretty good in this as well. Matthew Lillard shows up in this movie. He's good. Mary Stuart Masterson shows up out of completely nowhere, and she's a total fucking bitch. But, I mean, she plays it well. You know, for me, could have done without the random subplot of the lost brother. But again, it does tie into the overarching plot, so I do gotta give him points for that. And that too, you do kind of see coming that it ties into the missing kids because just the way his dreams are going, it's like, oh, he's gonna end up being one of the victims or whatever, and yeah, so it ties in to the overarching plot, but it's like we could have done without it. And getting to everything, it's unfortunately just kind of boring. It really is. When we see the animatronics in action, when they're actually going after some people, it's like, ooh, this is kind of tense. I like it. But we don't see much because of the PG-13 rating. And for me, that makes it kind of boring and dull, which disappoints me because I was hoping this was just going to be like a straight-up horror movie. I give Five Nights at Freddy's... I'm gonna give it a C.
Did you enjoy the review? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to get notified when more reviews go live. Feel free to leave a comment to discuss your thoughts on the movie or show, and I will see you next time.